From the high-definition production center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, Troy University's Janice Hawkins Park will soon be home to a massive artistic display recreating the famous terracotta warriors discovered in China. The display won't be finished until later this year, but the main components have made their way from China into Trojan territory. Ryan Renfro gives us a look.
The first of 200 terracotta warriors that will soon be displayed on the Troy campus was unpacked on Friday morning by Troy Chancellor Jack Hawkins. The warriors will be part of a massive display in Janice Hawkins Park.
I think it's exactly what I saw 10,000 miles from here in Xi'an, China, and I think it's really exciting to think that we can have a display here that captures the majesty of what you have to go so far to be able to experience.
Hawkins says he was impressed by how much the replicas created by Chinese artist Hu Baozhu look like the actual statues at the original discovery site in China.
Well, actually, I'm encouraged that it looks so much, it is truly a replica of what you see that was buried more than 2,000 years ago and unearthed less than 40 years ago. And so it's fundamentally what we expected, but when we see more than 200 of them on display in one place, it'll be really, really interesting and exciting too. I mean, one is interesting, but to put 200 in one place, I think is going to be a unique experience.
Even though Hawkins only had the chance to see a few of the over 200 statues that will be a part of the display, he says he can already imagine what the finished product will look like and how much people will enjoy it.
Well, we've talked about it for so many months. I think we've certainly had great anticipation about the arrival of the warriors, and to see the first one uncrated and soon to be on display, I think it gives us excitement. I think it'll be a great addition to Troy University, Pike County, and the state of Alabama, and it'll represent a treasure for everybody. I think we'll see a lot of people coming to Troy to take advantage of what will be in place.
The 200 terracotta warrior display is expected to be completed in the fall. Well, Troy University's Startalk Chinese Language Camp is designed to bring awareness of Chinese language and culture to young students. But something else the camp brings is instructors from across the country who come to Troy specifically to teach at the camp each year. Ryan Renfro introduces us to one such instructor.
I teach them how to teach.
Dr. Lena Liu first came to Troy 6 years ago, and it was during her first visit to Trojan territory that she met Troy's very own Dr. Iris Xu. And it didn't take long for the two to become friends and for Liu to be introduced to the Startalk program here at Troy.
When she started the first year Startalk program, she said, "Would you like to come over to share the experience and method with our students?" I said, "Oh, of course." So I came over.
And now in her 6th year in the Startalk program, Liu's students start off their day working together to develop their own teaching plan. And this afternoon, the students practice their teaching plan and learn how to work together through nonverbal communication.
They give them students a command in Chinese. The students respond in action. In other words, it's gesture, body language, or not verbal, but nonverbal. Students understand first, so what the Chinese mean, and then they respond with their body or gesture or facial expression, and to show they understand this Chinese word.
Liu says she hopes that what her students learn from her class will help them become better teachers.
I want them, after training, continue using those methodologies or using what they learned in their life, daily life, teaching classroom teaching practice, and become qualified Chinese teachers at U.S. classrooms.
And as for Liu's dedication and love for the Startalk program, look no further than the 2,000 miles she traveled to get here. Not only is she a professor of Chinese language and culture, she's a professor at Portland State University in Oregon and a fan of Startalk and Troy University.
Did you know that in Chinese culture it's currently the year of the monkey? Well, the monkey and other animals of the Chinese Zodiac were the focus of a lesson for campers who were learning to become teachers of the Chinese language at this year's Startalk Chinese Language Camp. Nathaniel Rodriguez has that story.
Chinese language instructors from around the country got the chance to learn about the Western and Chinese zodiacs at Startalk last Friday. The class was taught by Dr. Wei Shao in Troy University's Bibb Graves Hall. The students learned about the current zodiac year, the year of the monkey, and watched a clip from the movie The Monkey King.
I also be comparing some of the English sayings, including the concept monkey, to the students.
Shao explained that the major difference between the two zodiacs is how they represent changes throughout time.
In the Western culture, as I see it, they use mostly, I think, constellations to represent changes during the year. For the Chinese, they use animals to represent the changes.
The zodiacs also differ in how they predict the events of a year. Western culture divides up the year into seasons that fall under certain constellations which represent certain characteristics, while the Chinese zodiac looks at the year another way.
For example, they will link the features of an animal of that year together as a wholeness to understand what might be happening in that year.
Despite the differences, Shao says that the two zodiacs still have one thing in common.
What I see as the commonality of both systems is that they are all kind of related to the names of the animals.
Shao says that work like this promotes understanding between the people of China and the United States. Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Learning a second language can be tough, but learning to teach it can be even more of a challenge. As a part of the lessons at this year's Startalk Summer Camp, the future teachers of Chinese learned how to use techniques to teach the language, including some interesting strategies for writing Chinese characters. Samantha Charles shows us how.
With Startalk coming to a close, Dr. Liu, the instructor for the Startalk teacher training program, wanted to enforce the importance of Chinese characters. No, not cartoon characters. Think of it as the alphabet.
It's the writing. So today I'm going to give an instruction to the group of teachers here on how to make it easier for the foreigners to learn how to write Chinese characters as well as how to type Chinese characters.
Dr. Liu says that with each Chinese character containing anywhere from 20 to 30 strokes, it can be quite tough to pick up on.
And teaching this as instead of having the students memorize the strokes, because some characters have as many as more than 20 or 30 strokes, it's very difficult for the foreigners to trace, to draw those pictures, the characters that look like pictures.
So she came up with some pretty unique tactics to help these campers learn how to teach the Chinese language.
So instead, we're going to learn a shortcut way to learn to write Chinese characters. So we learn the Chinese characters through stroke orders and through the songs and raps, so people can easily remember those strokes. So by the time they pick up the pen and write the characters, it's ready, it's in their mind, it should be come out right away.
And Startalk concludes on July 9th with a graduation ceremony in the Trojan Center. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how the parents of Troy University's incoming freshmen got some freshman orientation of their own. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
This is Thomas. During the day, he works in research, and at night, he's a warrior. Soon he'll have a degree from Troy University, a historic and affordable public university with flexible online and in-class courses, and professors who know their students by name. Do what you love and be great at it. That's the warrior spirit. Learn more at troy.edu/workingwarrior.
Through the years, trends and styles may come and go, but the important things remain the same. Generation after generation, consistently there, creating moments and memories to last a lifetime. Like a true friend, the national parks have always been there for you, and now you can be there for them. Support the National Park Foundation and help protect America's treasured places.
this is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
I think it goes around.
Let's go. We gotta get you in practice.
And it's set.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Throughout the summer, incoming freshmen learn about their new college home at the weekly Impact Orientation sessions. But it's not just the students who are finding out about Troy. The parents have a lot to learn as well. Jalen Bivens shows us how.
Wednesday morning, parents of incoming freshmen participated in an Impact Orientation session of their own. While their children were off in the Trojan Center getting familiar with their new college home, the parents were in the Trojan Towers learning some things that help them better understand Troy.
I think it helps them to learn about billing. It helps them to learn about our grading process. It helps them to learn some of our systems like Web Express and Blackboard. I also think the advantage for them is learning about how safe our campus is and how important it is for the student to get involved.
Before the session started, parents had a chance to walk around and take a look at a few information tables that were set up for their convenience, including one that will help students and parents stay connected.
Impact is an excellent way for the departments here at the university, and we're the IT department, but there's all the departments represented here. We're able to relay information directly to parents in a way that we know they're going to get that information, and we don't have to rely on secondhand information coming from the students to the parents. And with the IT department, we're able to tell them about the services that we offer to the students, as well as the SOS system, and where we can send out emergency and important alerts.
The parents received a lot of information at their Impact session, but there was one important thing that Mosley hopes that they take away.
I think the most important thing that they heard, I hope, was that they should have realistic expectations for their student. That college is a huge transition, and they should expect that their student will have some struggles, but that they will make it through if they just hang in there.
Jalen Bivens, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
There are 3 more freshman sessions this summer. They wrap up on July 19th. The first day of the fall semester is August 17th. Well, soccer is becoming an increasingly popular sport in the United States, where interest is starting to catch up with the rest of the world. And it was some of that global support for the sport that brought some lessons to some young Troy area athletes last week. William McCarthy shows us how some young soccer players got the chance to improve their skills at the British Soccer Challenge.
At around this time in the summer, the British Soccer Challenge makes its way into Troy. This camp teaches kids on how to play the beautiful game.
British Soccer Camp is a huge camp. We've been working in the States for about 20 years, and we're working in all the states around the country. It's British coaches from UK. They're coming here for the summer or sometimes for 9 months, and they're training in academies.
These kids out here, they're learning the basics of the game, or what the world calls it, the beautiful game. Now, they're learning about passing, shooting, dribbling, and defense. But one of the best things they do is shoot. And as you can see, I still got it.
Our week is built very simply. Every day they're learning something new. So usually what we do on Monday, we're doing dribbling. So the week starts on Monday, they're doing a quick warm-up, then we start with dribbling. We're explaining them the basics about dribbling with the ball. Tuesday is usually passing, so on Tuesday they're learning how to pass the ball, what's the important things that they have to do before they pass the ball. Then on Wednesday we're doing shooting. On Thursday we're doing defending, which is a very important part of the game as well.
With the recent World Cup win by the United States women's national team in 2015 and the successful Copa America by the U.S. men's national team in 2016 has brought in more players into the camp who are more interested in playing soccer.
The soccer in USA is getting more and more popular every year. You can see that because many kids are starting playing soccer. I can see that during the last 3 years there are more and more girls joining our camps, so that's a very positive sign.
If there is one thing that these players have taught Coach Alberto, and that is to always have fun.
I've been coaching in so many states, and every week is a different adventure. You're meeting new kids, new characters, and the thing that I've learned from them is that it doesn't matter how hard one exercise is or how easy it is. As long as you're enjoying it, that's the most important thing.
William McCarthy for Troy, Trojan Vision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, there's some offerings from our friends at Troy Public Radio, so don't touch that dial.
Did you look? Did you go to the schoolyard? Calm down, please. Where did you look? We can make a plan somehow if I just.
He's a smart boy, and he's gonna be okay.
Okay, try to call him again.
There's no reception right now. Everything is down.
Try.
I can't.
Try already.
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's down.
Do you think he's on his way? Please. Is he okay?
Laura.
Please tell me he's okay.
I need you to calm down.
What? It's my baby. This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
Mama. Mama.
Say mama. Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm almost 2 now and still not responding. That's one sign of a communication disorder, and delaying treatment can affect my development.
Many parents aren't aware of the early signs of speech, language, and hearing disorders, yet early detection and treatment can improve quality of life.
Say dada.
Ugh, here we go.
Identify the signs of communication disorders.
Come on, let's go.
Hey. Hey, hi, what's your name? You live around here? You're pretty. Where are you guys going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going?
Guess it's about time to get you fixed, sweetie.
Your pets will start getting noticed sooner than you think. Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Each week we take some time to hear some of the work done by our broadcast partners at Troy Public Radio. As we do each week, we'll get another sample of Talk of Troy, the student-produced newscast of Troy Public Radio. Now let's take a listen.
It's the Talk of Troy. Voices and sounds from the campuses of Troy University. I'm Nishay DeRamus. Troy graduate David Cadell has been recognized by the Society of Professional Journalists with a National Mark of Excellence Award, as Sharnique McEachern reports.
In 2015, Cadell traveled to Selma to cover the 50th anniversary of the Selma to Montgomery March, also known as Bloody Sunday. Cadell is a fan of history and understands the importance of civil rights.
It was very interesting because there were lots of police around. There were Black Lives Matter protesters crossing the bridge with me. It was an intense moment.
Cadell isn't sure if people today are willing to sacrifice as much for a cause as Selma to Montgomery marchers were in 1965.
When I crossed the bridge wearing like a 30 to 40 pound pack, I was kind of tired. And they didn't just march across the bridge, they marched from across that bridge all the way to Montgomery.
To find out more about David Cadell and the Society of Professional Journalists, visit troy.edu/news. For the Talk of Troy, I'm Sharnique McEachern.
The Master of Science and Management program has been offered online, but now will be offered at Troy University on the Dothan campus this fall. Carmen Lewis is an assistant dean in the Sorrell College of Business. She says the program will use a new initiative to accommodate students.
What we're most excited about is that we're using a newer technology, which is called lecture capture, to enhance the flexibility of the course offerings.
Lewis says that the lectures will be taped and uploaded online for busy students.
You know, they're balancing work and family, and then to add school on top of that can be somewhat difficult.
For more information about the Master of Science and Management program, visit troy.edu/news. I'm Nishay DeRamus, and you've been listening to The Talk of Troy, a production of Troy Public Radio.
Throughout the week, Troy Public Radio can be heard on 89.9 in Troy and Montgomery, 88.7 in Dothan, and 91.7 in Phoenix City. Well, it's time for our last break. When we return, we'll learn about a way Pike County businesses can help give financial support to organizations that assist in the community. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids, this isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
If a child with autism is missing, immediately search places that pose the most danger, such as nearby water and busy streets. For more ways to help, visit missingkids.com/aware.
Here we are. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, and none of us know how to read and write code.
The first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
You're just trying to make something, trying to transfer something from your mind to the computer or to a tablet. It's an experience.
The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
There's a way for local businesses to help support a number of area organizations through the United Appeal. We'll learn how in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today we'll be learning about how local businesses can help out community agencies with the United Appeal. My guests today, Melinda Connor and Jane Thrash from United Appeal.
That's right.
Talk a little bit about an event you've got coming up, but we're also going to talk about United Appeal, which is, I guess it's a new name for something that's been going on around here, but we're going to talk a little bit about what that is all about.
United Appeal, we serve the agencies in our community, and we want to keep that focus with our community, and so we are Pike County United Appeal.
United Appeal. Now, this is something, there's a little bit of a change from what we've seen in the past. Jane, tell us a little about, you're the president now, currently president of United Appeal. Tell us a little about, I guess, the shift to United Appeal.
Well, Aaron, several years ago, and I'm saying several years ago, and you can tell I've been at this a long time, we were known as the Pike County United Appeal, and then we decided to grow a little bit, and as many of us do with things, and we were growing with our money a little bit, and we decided to become Pike County United Way, in which that meant that we were a part of United Way of America, and we could use their logos and their slogans and all of these type things. But as a period of time, we began to look at the fact that we could use our money better by doing things at home, and that money was staying in Pike County with Pike County businesses who were helping us to support Pike County United Way agencies. So a few months ago, we started looking at how we could become better, looking at changing our vision and looking at our community and how we could serve those agencies. And we have 18 agencies that we serve within our organization. And so through this, we decided that it would be better to become United Appeal again. Therefore, we don't have a lot of money going outside of Pike County. That money is staying with inside Pike County. And we're making those dollars work for Pike County citizens as we have money donated. It's spent with those businesses, and the agencies then turn around and they use that money with the citizens of Pike County. So therefore, the board voted to go ahead and change our name back to Pike County United Appeal. And ironically, we still had some checks that still had Pike County United Appeal from before we changed the name before. So we've gone back to that name. We are centrally located in Pike County. We do our business here, and we appeal to all of our citizens within Pike County to support the agency, that the main agency, the umbrella that takes care of a lot of these agencies.
So many agencies in the area.
That's exactly right. And it's not just people that we serve. Some of our agencies serve our animal friends, and that in itself makes a big difference as we see things going out there and animals' lives being saved, but yet turning around and people who need a friend and that don't have a friend or don't have a child and having a companion.
There we go.
Yeah. I have 2 adopted dogs myself, so I'll say that, and I love the 2 little adopted dogs, and it's because one of those agencies that those things are available.
Now there's an event coming up soon, Taste of Pike County,
right?
And there's an opportunity for local businesses to get involved with helping out both United Appeal, but also just a way to help themselves out and help the community. Tell us a little about the Taste of Pike County. So
the Taste of Pike County is for the community to come out and get to know a little bit about Pike County. That's why Taste is not just about food, it's also about your business, getting that information out and any products you want to sell at that time too. And speaking of keeping things local, we want to make sure these are people that are within Pike County or came from Pike County, and let's say if they went and have their own business, they've left Pike County, but they have written a book and they want our community to know about it, but they're from Pike County. And I know that a lot of people, when they do want to support an agency, they want to make sure that it stays in Pike County.
And this, you've had this event earlier this year out at the Pioneer Museum, and so this is going to be a similar event. You moved it to a Saturday this time, though,
right?
And so potentially to get some more people there. But let's talk about the vendors are the most important part of this. What can a vendor do, a business or a vendor do, to be a part of the Taste of Pike County?
Well, they call my office, or they call the agencies we serve. But they can call my office, and we have vendor forms, and it's $25 to be a vendor.
Okay.
And like I said, all that money goes to United Appeal and to the agencies we serve in this community.
And of course, and yes, Jane?
I was going to say, this is our official kickoff for our campaign. Our campaign will run about 3 months. That's normal for any United Appeal, United Fund, or even a United Way organization. We run about a 3-month campaign for the upcoming year, and this is the campaign time in which we'll be focusing on. We kick it off with a major event such as a Taste of Pike County. We've done other things before, but this it's letting you know that the services that we have, but also those people who are here that provide into these services that within Pike County. And so it gives them a chance to mix and mingle and find out about our agencies. And so therefore, this is a taste of who we are. It's local, and so it's Pike County is what it is. And so it does a lot within that area.
And before we go, what can they do? How do they contact to get involved with this?
They can call the office, 566-0011, easy number.
Okay.
And they can call, and if I happen to not be there, they can leave a message, and I will get back to them as soon as possible. And the good thing about my phone too is if you leave a message, it also goes on my email.
There you go.
So I can
so you'll be right in contact with them if they want to get involved with this. Well, good luck with this year's kickoff and keeping things here in the community and helping out agencies here. Thanks for both of you for joining me here today.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened on the first week of July 2016. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30, Monday through Thursday, or by any time by following us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Also, feel free to like our Troy TrojanVision News fan page on Facebook to see links to online content from Troy TrojanVision News anytime. We hope to see you again next week for another edition of Troy TrojanVision Weekly. Have a good week.